Here's a quick rundown of today's top stories, Saturday, July 12th. The recovered sacks were not planted, as divers find 2 more bags with burned objects in Taal Lake, according to Philippine Coast Guard. Technical divers from the Philippine Coast Guard found 2 suspicious sacks in Taal Lake, Batangas during the conclusion of the second day of search and retrieval operations for the remains of the 34 missing cockfighters on Friday afternoon, July 11th, as a ranking official denied that the recovered bags were planted. This operation is very peculiar. This is not a simple crime. What we are finding here entails DNA, which is why the forensic team and SOCO are here. If we find bones there and subjected to a DNA test of the missing, then we can examine if these were from the persons we are finding or these were only planted, Commodore Geronimo Tuvilla, commander of Coast Guard District Southern Tagalog, said. We will not waste our time on this if these sacks were only planted. You have seen the risk our divers face. If our commitment to the search were that shallow, we wouldn't put them in such danger. We pour our heart and mind into this. Every time we conduct a dive, the diver's body is exposed to danger. This is no joke, and what we're doing should not be taken lightly or reduced to mere speculation, he added. New Presidential Communications Office Chief Vows Programs and Policies minus Politics. Newly appointed Presidential Communications Office Secretary Dave Gomez has pledged to pursue transparency, press freedom, and digital transformation as the Marcos administration's new lead communicator, promising to keep politics out of the job. My role as PCO Secretary will be to communicate and socialize the programs and policies of the President minus the politics, he said. This is what I call my 3 Ps minus 1. Programs, policies, minus politics, he added. Gomez took his oath before Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin on Friday afternoon, July 11th. He officially assumed office following a symbolic handover of the PCO flag from outgoing Secretary Jay Ruiz, in the presence of PCO undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, and other officials. Former Department of Education Secretary Briones and 13 others have been ordered charged in 2.4 billion pesos, outdated and overpriced laptops bought in 2021. The Office of the Ombudsman has ordered the filing of criminal charges against former Department of Education Secretary Leonor M. Briones and 13 others for the 2.4 billion pesos alleged overpriced and outdated laptops purchased for public school teachers in 2021. Aside from Briones, there are several former officials from the Department of Education and the Procurement Service of the Department of Budget and Management, along with a private individual, have also been ordered charged with graft and falsification. The OMB also ordered the filing of perjury charges against Lau, Sevilla, and Wayan, while the same charges against Pascua and Malana were dismissed. The case stemmed from the controversial 2.4 billion peso purchase of laptops for teachers intended for the implementation of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan from 2020 to 2022. The Habagat brings rains to large parts of the Philippines, as Pagasa warns of flood and landslide. The southwest monsoon, or Habagat, continues to bring rains to many parts of the Philippines on Saturday, July 12th, prompting weather officials to warn of possible flash floods and landslides in affected areas. Based on the latest weather update from the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, a tropical storm located outside the Philippine area of responsibility is enhancing the Habagat. As of 3 a.m., the storm was located 1,925 kilometers east-northeast of extreme northern Luzon, with maximum sustained winds of 65 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 80 kilometers per hour. It is moving slowly west-northwestward and poses no direct threat to the country, Pagasa said. President Trump to host the Philippine president to discuss trade and security in Asia. U.S. President Donald Trump will host his Philippine counterpart in the White House this month to discuss how the longtime treaty allies can further deepen their security and economic engagements, Philippine officials said Friday. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will visit the United States from July 20th to 22nd, but Philippine officials were still finalizing details of his meeting with Trump with the U.S. State Department, the Philippine government said. The Allies have boosted mutual defense engagements, including large-scale combat exercises in the Philippines, to strengthen deterrence against China's increasingly aggressive actions in the region. Among the proposed topics for discussion is strengthening peace through deterrence. Philippine Ambassador to Washington, Jose Manuel Romualdez, told the Associated Press by telephone. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to the Manila Bulletin Daily Rundown.